Welcome in to another edition of the Stingers Up Sacramento State Football Podcast. I'm your host, Jason Ross, getting ready for the home opener this week for the Hornets. As they come in ranked number 11, they get to take on and host number 24 Nicholls State. Today, on this week's podcast, we will look back at Game 2, a loss at Fresno State. We will preview the game against Nicholls State, and then also a conversation with senior wide receiver Jared Gipson. So lots coming your way. Let's jump right to it and go to last Saturday when the Hornets went to Fresno to take on the Bulldogs at Valley Children's Stadium, and I can't think of a worse way for a game to start.
All right, so the Hornet defense coming out for their first look. Mikey Keene, the quarterback, will work from the shotgun. He shifts two from the backfield. Now Sherrod joins him in the backfield. They want to get him loose. He didn't run very well last week at Michigan. Understandable there. Play fake. Keene back to throw. Deep shot. Wide open. Broken coverage. It's Delana. 30, 25, 20, 15, 10, 5. Touchdown. One play. 75 yards. The Hornets absolutely lost Mac Delana. And the Bulldogs, in 10 seconds, have a 6-0 lead.
Jason, your color commentary, who's not very good, by the way, I'm just kidding, myself, said how many plays will it take before they throw a 30-yard pass based on the fact that the Hornets had some secondary issues a week ago. How many plays did it take?
It was the first play of the game, and now look, Steve, they're going an interesting formation to show a two-point conversion look. The Hornets don't look quite prepared for this. Snap comes in. It's going to be kept by the quarterback. He'll run forward. He gets into the end zone, and Fresno State takes a 8-0 lead. So they not only get the touchdown, they go for two just 10 seconds into the game, and the Hornets aren't even comfortable. 8-0.
So, one play, 75 yards, two-point conversion, 10 seconds into the game. It's already 8-0 Bulldogs. Hornets obviously came in as an underdog, and they're down by a score and a two-point conversion. After an opening series that didn't do much for the Hornet offense, they were forced to punt.
Very reliable punter, averaging 44 yards a punt. Gets away an end-over-end kick. Moss is under it. Return men are right there. Ball is fumbled. It's still loose, and the Hornets are trying to dive on it. Loose again, and I believe Sac State got it. They do. A big turnover inside the 20. Which Hornet got it? It's Rocha.
Yep, Rocha ends up with it. I think 4 Hornets touched that ball. It was bouncing all over, and whoever tried to recover it would bounce off of them, but the Hornets ultimately have Rocha recover it.
Now, they got that turnover, had good field position, unfortunately couldn't move it very far, and settled for a Zach Schreiner 34-yard field goal. So we had just played a special teams highlight for the Hornets in which they recovered a fumble, and were within 5 at this point at 8-3. But after that, another special teams play, and this one didn't go in favor of the Hornets.
Moss, who fumbled the last time, will catch it at his own 15. Will try to return again with a nice lane. He's out to the 30. McGuff tries to slow him down. He's near midfield. He's got the sideline, scoots up the field. This could be a house call. Cutting back across the 10 to the 5. Touchdown, no flags. Well, that's a way to make up for your mistake. Moss had fumbled the last punt return. Caught this one, veered right, had a lane in front of the Hornets sideline, then cut back and takes it the distance for the score.
So the 85-yard return, you've already had a catch for 75 yards, a punt return for 85 yards, and the Hornets find themselves down not even midway through the quarter, 15-3. Now, they would fumble the very next play to begin the next series. Now, fortunately for the Hornets, they would only give up 3 points because their defense got very tough down near the goal line.
Sends Beecham in motion. Keene looks left. Pressure coming. And he's going to be ripped down and sacked back at the 30-yard line. What a play by Mason Brousseau. Drops him at the 30. It was first and goal at the 6. Now it's fourth and goal at the 30.
Yeah, Brousseau deserves 2 sacks for that because he sacked him so deep back there and got a hold of the jersey and threw him down.
All right, so the second quarter begins, and the Hornets find themselves down 18-3. They give up a score to begin the quarter, and it's getting ugly. A lot of people there that made the trip probably thinking the Hornets are just going to get completely, run out of Fresno, but it was 25-3, and still down 25-3 and still playing defense. Well, the Hornets defense would get a turnover back.
Trips left, 1 right for Mikey Keene, who's 10 of 13 for 204 yards already. Rolling to his right, looking over the middle. In traffic, intercepted. It was intercepted by Ian Moore.
He's having a big game.
He is. more elevated in traffic, landed after he caught the ball midair and landed. That's why he was down, but at the 42-yard line. Nice play.
So Ian Moore with a nice INT there. Hornet offense had been shifting between Bennett. Conklin had come in. They go back to Caden Bennett, and Bennett would hook up with a big score in the second quarter.
Pete, here's Bennett rolling out, looks downfield, wide open man.
There
it's
is.
Gipson. He caught it at the 50, needs a block forward, scoots down the sideline. Gipson, 20, 10, 5, touchdown Hornets. What a play by Caden Bennett. That's going to go for 78 yards and a score.
I called it. Only in your dreams. It's Gipson.
That catch went to Gipson. That pass, I should say, went to Gipson, who we'll hear from coming up in a little bit, the senior wide receiver. So the Hornets find themselves down 25-10. Another swing as far as whether or not the Hornets are going to win the game. You know, they're still down 15, feeling like they're being outplayed. They got to stop and had the ball going in towards the red zone and fumbled. Got a pick off by Will Leota going right back before the half. And remember, they're going to get the ball to start the second half. They threw another interception in the red zone. So missed opportunities there for the Hornets. So halftime, they're down 25-10. Not feeling great, but still technically in the game. Well, they got back in the game to start the second half. Carson Conklin would start half number 2. He would run a beautiful drive, get hot, 5 for 5 on the drive, and would finish it with a touchdown pass.
Second down and long. Conklin rolling out underneath. It's caught by Maleni near the goal line. Sidesteps and gets into the end zone.
Yes.
Touchdown Hornets. Conklin engineers a drive, and the Hornets get in the end zone.
Beautiful.
13-yard score. What a drive. 80 yards. The Hornets move it downfield, and the crowd here a bit stunned. It's now 25-16.
Oh, like a knife through hot butter, the Hornet offense.
All right, so at this point, it's still early third quarter. It's 25-17. Fans in Fresno a little bit surprised. Hornets got to stop again and had the ball. This was the opportunity with the ball down by 8, potentially going for the tie. Hornets offense stalled out there, and then back-to-back quick scores by the Bulldogs, and Fresno State had a 39-17 lead as we begin the fourth quarter. In that fourth quarter, the Hornets would find the end zone again on a 13-play, 75-yard drive.
And now under center this time is Conklin. Tao Tolliver is the back in the backfield. Fake. Conklin rolls out, throws underneath. It's juggled, caught. Girard dives, elevates, and crosses the goal line for a touchdown. Austin Girard gets into the end zone. It's now 39-23.
Nice reaching touchdown for the 6'3" player from Oklahoma State. Was originally from El Dorado Hills. That was great.
That was a nice play designed for the Hornets. 39-23. I think they're going to go for 2 here.
They did, in fact, go for 2. Didn't quite convert that, so they found themselves down 39-23. Gave up another score, 46-23. And one more touchdown for the Hornets to end the night, putting up 30 on Fresno State, the same amount of points that Michigan did. Here was a beautiful toss from Conklin, catch by Anderson Grover.
Back to throw, looking deep ball, looking to the end zone to Grover, caught, touchdown, Sacramento State. What a throw, 36 yards, and the Hornets get in the end zone, 46-29. Conklin threw that on the line to Grover.
That's where you see the talent of Conklin on those last 2 throws. They were both fantastic, and the Hornets do have great receivers. That's the Hornet team that I want to see this season, those last 2 plays.
All right, so 46-30 was the final. Hornets, again, did some things in their favor as far as getting first downs, getting yards. I mean, total yards, 469 yards, but 3 turnovers and a turnover on downs. Still put up a bunch of points on an FBS team, but it still feels like they're leaving things out there and that they could be better. And that's exciting. We knew playing up twice would be difficult. I think they had chances, probably more so in the San Jose State game, but chances again in the Fresno game. So now they find themselves 0-2, coming home to take on Nicholls State, which we'll talk about in a moment. But let's get to our guest this week, and that is senior wide receiver Jared Gipson. He's been a really good Hornet in his career, has done some nice things for this team and for the program, and has been decorated as an all-conference performer and is back for his senior season. I think you'll hear it from him how quickly it has, in fact, gone. But he's done some nice things already to begin this year. Jared last week had a 100-yard receiving game. He leads the team with 9 catches and a touchdown with 178 yards. And I started by asking him about this, in fact, being his senior season. Senior. Man, it goes fast. Does it feel like you just became a Hornet?
Definitely. Feels like I just got here. Like, literally, feels like last year that I was a freshman trying to come in, just earn a spot, and now I'm like a senior, like leading people. It's insane.
So you ultimately picked Sacramento State. I know you were injured your senior year, probably could have gone a lot of other places, but now that it's happened, you picked Sac State, and you've done a lot of winning, had some accolades yourself. What has your journey been like as a Hornet?
It's honestly been like beyond what I expected. Honestly, like it's just like God put me in this position to be able to come here, and like like I was very skeptical I was going to go to different schools, or I entered the portal at one point. You know what I'm saying, after Coach Taylor left, and it's just like I feel like staying here was my best option for my life and just where I want to be as a person. So I love it. I love it.
That's a decision people can make, and a lot of people do make now, the portal. You've had some teammates explore that. So kind of go back to that. What was the thinking? What made you decide to stay?
Honestly, what made me decide to stay was just like grass isn't always going to be greener on the other side. And obviously I had offers in the portal. I had options to go somewhere, but like it's just, you know what I'm saying? Like I'm in a great opportunity. I have a great opportunity here. And, like I'm a starter here, you know what I'm saying? Like the coaches believe in me here. And I've had 3 different receiver coaches, and I loved all 3 of them. So it's like, you know what I'm saying? It's just every opportunity that's came from Sacramento State has been a great one. So I feel like I made the right choice. Yeah,
your journey's been interesting. You've had a bunch of different people throw you the ball. You've had different people coaching you as wide receivers coach. There's probably some good and some bad with that, hearing a new voice, but maybe getting new techniques and thoughts. How's that challenge been working with different receivers coaches?
I feel like it's great to learn from different people and different backgrounds. Coach Osborne is completely different than Coach Coleman, and Coach Coleman's completely different than Coach Prince. So it's like you get different perspectives and you learn different things, and just building different connections as well. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like these connections like might last a lifetime. You never know. So it's a great thing.
So which coach lured you here? What was the selling point to make you become a Hornet?
Coach Osborne is the one that recruited me, and Coach Osborne, he, you know what I'm saying, he was just always just a good dude. Always a good dude to me, and always like, he told me things, and he always kept his promises for the most part, you know what I'm saying? So he got me here, and he was just a great recruiter. And then I was like in a situation where I tore my ACL in high school, and then a lot of schools pulled my offers. Like I probably had like 5 schools pull my offer, and Coach Osborne took me, like was one of the only schools to just take me like no matter what. So I really always respected him for that.
That's got to be a tough time, because literally the injury, recovery is kind of a lonely, long journey, and then knowing that there were opportunities out there that some ran away from. What was that part of your life journey like, going through the injury and then not knowing where you'd play?
Yeah, it was definitely, that whole time was definitely tough. It was a lot of times I was just crying and just upset, because I literally tore my ACL 3 days before my senior season, and like your senior season is supposed to be like the most like magical time of your high school career, and then like that was just stripped from me in like literally the span of like 2 seconds. So like it was a rough time, but like I just kept my faith in God and just always kept praying. And then Coach Osborne and there's a few other schools took me, but Coach Osborne was the main one that just always take me no matter what, without a doubt. So yeah. I always appreciate him for that.
So you grew up in the general area, and you knew about Sac State, but they weren't winning a ton before you got here. So now that you're here, I can't imagine you would have thought there'd be conference titles, playoff appearances. Yeah. I mean, that's kind of been a dream for you, hasn't it?
No, it definitely has, because when I committed here, this was before the 2019 season. So I committed to a team that wasn't really doing nothing. So like I just have faith in what Coach Oz and Coach Taylor were telling me, and I just it all worked out.
Yeah. So in your years here, now that you're in your senior year, if you look back, what's a game or a win that you're going to go, I'm never going to forget that one? Or a couple.
I have a few, like the Montana win, 2022. The Montana win.
Oh, the one here? Yeah, where they all said you were out of bounds?
Yeah, that one, I'm never going to forget that one. And then another win. What's another?
Were you in bounds?
I think I was in bounds. I think I was in bounds. That was definitely a game I'm always going to remember. And then a game we lost, but an Incarnate Word game, I'm going to forever remember that one. Yeah. It's just, that one hurt, but that was probably the most insane football game I've ever been a part of in my football journey. So, I'm always remember that one.
I've never seen that game again, but I want to, but it's been a tough one because it was such a painful loss, but it is one of the best games ever. The amount of stats and yards and things you guys did, and really they did too. I mean, it really is one of the best games I've ever seen.
Yeah, it was the greatest football game I've ever been a part of. Even though it was like we lost, but like it was insane. That game was crazy.
Yeah. You mentioned Coach Osborne. You go down there last year. You see Coach Taylor as well. You beat them. That's got to rank pretty good.
Yeah, I was gonna say the Stanford win too. That was a great win also. So like we have there's a lot of big games. Like it's crazy. I've played 3 seasons here. It's like a whole bunch of stuff. And we have a whole another season to keep going.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you're just getting started this year. You're starting to move up all the receiving rankings, and you know what you do have a season ahead of you. But what do you think about when your season is over? Whenever that comes, what would you like to do next?
I want to make sure I just finish out the season strong. I want to win a national championship here. I want to win another Big Sky title, and then I want to eventually try to play professional wherever that is. You know what I'm saying, and just see where football takes me, because I love the game, and I don't want this to be my last season ever. So I want to keep playing and just see where it takes me. So. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and sometimes people need help getting their stuff out there, but you've become a fan of TikTok, YouTube. Your stuff is out there. What's been the most popular thing you've put out on social media that got the biggest hit?
I've put out there's a lot of videos. Like I put out some videos like this little, like in 2021 or 2022. I put out a little stupid video. wasn't even gonna put it out. It was like the little Kung Fu Panda thing or whatever. It was like some stupid stuff. And I just put it out, and I woke up in the morning, and I think it was at like 3 million views. And now I think the video is probably at like all around all platforms, probably like at like 50 million, 60 million views, all around all platforms. And then I used to post videos with my mom when I first started in high school, and those videos all got millions of views. And then it's just like videos are just out of nowhere. It's be something I just don't really like care about. Just throw it out there and it'll get like a couple million views, and like it's just crazy. It's just insane to think about. But yeah.
What got you started in that? Just kind of getting involved in that.
Honestly, it was when I tore my ACL in high school, and then I tore my ACL in high school and I wasn't on the team. Like I wasn't technically on the team. I didn't go to practice or nothing. I was just out of it with football. So I was just at home making videos, and then COVID happened. And then when COVID happened, I was really at home, and I was hurt. So I was just like, I was so bored, and I was tired of playing video games. So I was like, okay, like I'm going to just do my rehab, and I started making videos like for fun, just as a joke, because people at my school were doing it, and I didn't even know what TikTok was. And then I started doing it with them, and then I made my own account, and I just started blowing up from there. It was just crazy.
How many followers now?
Right now, I have 1 million on TikTok. I have almost 100,000 on YouTube, and then on Instagram I have like 30-something thousand. Yeah.
So what's been the oddest place or story like that someone recognized you that you wouldn't think would recognize you from that? Or has that happened?
Yeah, like when I go out of town, like it's just like it would just be random. Like someone would just recognize me in a random store in a random city. Like it's just like it's insane. Like I don't realize how many people are like really viewing my stuff until I like leave and just go to a random place, and then someone just recognizes me or says what's up or like asks for a picture. It's like it's crazy.
That's cool.
Yeah.
I'm thinking back to when you first started. Who were some of the Hornets back then that were seniors, juniors that were kind of leading the receiver room that helped you kind of get going in your career?
Honestly, a person that I always have a lot of respect for and really helped me in my journey is Isaiah Gable. He was a big leader my freshman year. Joey Lewis, he was a big leader for me. He really helped me a lot in being a receiver here. Pierre, obviously, he wasn't really a vocal leader, but he was one of those people that like I could look to and just be like, okay, he's doing the right thing at all times. Like he's never really, he's always never riding the wave. He's always a steady dude and always making sure he's doing the right thing every single day. So he was a person I looked to a lot when I was younger in my career. And I'm trying to think who else. I think those are pretty much the main ones.
Yeah. Do you feel like you are part of the group now doing that for the offense as an experienced player?
I feel like I am. You know, I have some things I need to work on myself, but I feel like a lot of the young guys look to me and Grover for the leadership role in the receiver room for sure.
All right, so this season's just starting. I'm sure you guys have tons of expectations. 0-2, but there's some opportunities in those 2 losses. What do you think of the outlook for the 2024 Hornets?
The outlook, I feel like we got all the bad out of us. I feel like we got all the bad out of us. I feel like it's like, okay, we can only go up from here. You know what I'm saying? So like, there's no more of this bad stuff. We're getting it out of our system early in the season than late, because you know, like stuff happens late in the season, but I'm rather get it out now than. Yeah. But I feel like this season we're gonna have a lot of stuff change, so I feel like it's gonna be a good season.
Last week you had a long touchdown against Fresno. I don't know if you've seen the play again because the kind of running the interference at the end, Scudero came in there, guy that gave you one last help. He took out our sideline guy. Did you see that at the end of the play?
No, when I came to the sideline and I see him sitting down on the bench, and I'm like looking, and he's like in pain. And I was like,
yeah, it was that play.
I was so confused. I was like, what happened? And then Danny's like, I took him out.
Oh, no.
And then I was just like, dang. And then, but yeah, I think he's fine. I saw him walking around later in the game. So yeah, that was crazy. I was like, dang.
How about for you individually? Do you set goals for your season?
I used to, but now, like, my only goal is just every snap, every rep, just go my hardest. Like, if you set goals and look too far in the future, I feel like you'll get lost in the present moment. So like, I used to always set goals for myself. Like last year, I wanted to hit 1,000 yards. Like last year, I wanted to do this. I wanted to be All-American. And it's like, but I feel like if you just take every snap and you just go hard every single play that you're in the game, then it will naturally just come to you. Yeah. So yeah, just try to my goal is just to win games, honestly.
Do you have, your position naturally, it's like, wow, what a catch by Gipson, or he caught 6 passes and a touchdown. But sometimes it could be a key block or something else that maybe not everybody sees. What gives you the most satisfaction in a play you might make in a game?
Honestly, the satisfaction, it just comes from, I don't know. Like, everything gives me satisfaction. If I'm blocking for TT and he goes and breaks for a 40-yard touchdown, I'm just going to be as satisfied as me catching a 90-yard bomb. You know what I'm saying? Because, like, yeah, I just love the game, love football. I just want to see everyone succeed. Want to see everyone win.
Yeah, it looks like you're having fun out there, and it goes fast, doesn't it? So I'm sure you're trying to make the most of your final season.
Definitely, no, it definitely goes by super fast. Yeah. But trying to enjoy this season and then see where it takes me.
Yeah. Well, it's been a pleasure watching you. Best of luck the rest of the season, and I hope you hit all your goals.
Yes, sir. Appreciate you.
All right, my thanks to Jared Gipson for joining us there. Let's wrap this up with a preview of Nicholls State. Now, Nicholls coming into this game is very, very similar to Sacramento State in this sense. They have played up twice, just like the Hornets. They have played up twice in state, just like the Hornets. And so this is a team that is probably, and they haven't played a home game yet. They played at Louisiana Tech, at LSU, played competitively with both, and now coming across country to California to face the Hornets. If you look at the parallels there, both teams 0-2, both teams ranked, both teams made the playoffs last year, both teams need a win, and I'm still going to say it and stick by this thought. Last year, the Hornets got in the postseason, probably by the skin of their teeth, but partly because of the win at Stanford and certainly the win to open up the season against Nicholls. Nicholls is favored to win the Southland Conference. If the Hornets want to get back into the postseason, which is a ton of games ahead of them, they've really got to defeat Nicholls. They got to get a first win. They got to win at home because they got 2 more road games following this. And, of course, they got to do some work in the Big Sky. But this is a team that's got a lot of guys returning, an experienced defense, and a 2-headed running attack. Their all-conference performer, Jalen Spears, played in Week 1, but has not played since the first half of Week 1, so missed last week with an injured ankle. Guggenheim ran well against the Hornets a year ago. 2 good runners, solid, experienced quarterback, a well-coached team that started last year 0-3 and then got crazy hot and ran through the Southland Conference. So this is a team that's desperate for a win, much like the Hornets, and it promises for a good game Saturday night, 6 o'clock, Hornet Stadium. We hope to see you out there. If you can't, check out the radio, check out the television, but more importantly, be there in person. Support the Hornets. Should be a lot of fun. All right, that's it for us. My thanks again to Jared Gipson for joining us. All of you for listening. We'll be back next week to recap it all and look ahead to the final non-Big Sky game against Texas A&M Commerce. We'll do all that next week. But until then, have a good week. Enjoy the game, and Stingers up.